Hi, welcome to the Hordon Homestead. So we have halved the plums and taken the stones out of the middle, and we've topped and tailed the figs and put them in. The total volume of fruit is about 1.6 kilos, and we're just bringing it up now to a nice rolling boil, and then we'll add the sugar and the lemon. We've got the sugar and the lemon here quickly, and we don't want big lumps like this. We want it to get quite a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do, this is use number 45 for your tatty masher, and you can just use your big metal, make sure it's metal because the plastic one might actually melt. The juice here does get very, very hot and gives nasty burns if it splashes, so do be very careful. So we're just mashing the figs and the plums into a nice mix like this, and you can see that it's on a nice rolling boil there, which is fantastic. And Jeff's doing a fantastic job holding the camera. And we'll just pop that in there, bring that back and have a look and see if we're happy with the lumps. I think we're mostly happy with those lumps, maybe another couple of minutes, which is really, really good. And this is a very simple recipe. It's basically equal parts fruit, equal parts sugar, and once we add the sugar, we will need to bring it back to a rolling boil, just like this. And I think we're almost ready to start adding the sugar. It just has that feel about it, so it's quite simple. We've already measured and weighed the sugar, so we know we've got just over 1.5 kilos, and if we need more, we have more. So you just dump it in. No need to be shy about adding the sugar. And then we want to dissolve it all in like this, stir it all in. And the idea then is to bring it back up to the rolling boil for maybe 5 minutes, or maybe even 10 minutes. You just get a feel for how thick it's coming. So that's really good. Then let's open this next bit of sugar and put this in as well. You'll feel that you're adding too much, but I promise you you're not. And then the other thing to remember as well is that if you leave the skins on plums, they actually have natural pectin in them. You have to take the pips out and the pits out, the big stones, but the skins of plums actually contain a lot of pectin, so you don't need to add any pectin to jams that contain plums. And because we've got the figs in here as well, quite a lot of juice has come out, so these will probably need to boil for a little bit longer than 5 minutes. I'm also going to add some lemon juice because it's just a nice added flavour, and that will be enough. So we just need to bring that back up to the boil. You can see it's changed colour and gone darker. That's because I've added the lemon juice. It makes it go to a darker colour. And if anybody knows why, please tell me in the description, in the comments below, because I have no idea why adding lemon juice makes it go darker. So we'll be back in a minute once we've got it back up to a rolling boil. So you can see now it's just coming back up to boil, and we're getting this little foam on the top. Don't worry about that, that's perfectly normal when you're making jam. It's just part of the sugar being cooked and coming in. You can see now it's starting to get thicker as I try and stir it, and you can see at the side here it's gone down about 1.5 inches already. So it does get thick quite quick. You just keep stirring, don't worry about the little bubbles that come to the surface. It's not scum or anything like that, it's just all part of the jam making sugary process. It's lovely, and it's what you want to see, which is more important. It is what you want to see. So the homestead here at the Hordon house is a new thing that we're doing. This year we've branched into growing our own vegetables, and these plums and figs are actually from our neighbour opposite. We've got quite a little cooperative in the road here where we exchange food with each other, so it's really quite nice. We've given our neighbours some courgettes, and they've given us tomatoes, so we've made some tomato chutney and given a jar back and all that sort of thing. So it's really, really lovely. And we are situated in Northumberland, in the north of England, just south of the border country of Scotland. And so we're at about 200 feet or 80 metres elevation. So with regard to canning, we don't need to worry about elevation or anything, because we're actually regarded as at sea level. So if you see me doing anything that you wouldn't do where you live, make sure that you know your elevation and adjust your cooking times and your canning times of your hot water bath times to suit your elevation. So if Jeff just puts the camera back on here, you can see now that it's come up to a rolling boil, and we're just going to do this for probably about 5-10 minutes, because there's quite a lot of water that needs to evaporate off this yet. It's also important to heat up the jars that you're going to put the jam into, because you don't want botulism. So what we're doing, we've got the oven here at 120, and they will be in here for about half an hour as the jam cooks, and we add the sugar and whatnot in a minute. So make sure that you do this. The lids and everything are in there as well, because you really don't want to have bugs and viruses and whatnot in your jars. So be sure to heat up your jars. You also don't want to put hot jam into a cold jar, because the jar will break. So this is a dual purpose thing. So as you can see, it's gradually thickening up quite well now, and it's not going to be long before I feel as though this is ready to can. So what we'll do is we'll get the jars and whatnot out of the oven, and at the same time we'll move this across, because first, before we do anything, we need to test that the pectin has come out of the plum skins and that it is going to set. And there's a really easy way to do that with regard to a plate that I put in the freezer about 20 minutes ago, so it can get really, 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 really cold. And then we put a little bit of jam mixture on it and see if it sets. And it's as simple as that. If it hasn't set, it needs a bit of a longer boil. So we shall start that process now. So here we are. I think it's ready to test, so let's try. You get a little bit of jam from there, which is really difficult with any spoon, so do be careful when you do this. Bring it across onto here. Leave it for about 20-30 seconds. And a bit like that there as well. And then what you do is you see if it started to form a skin, which it has. It's actually setting. You can just about see that that's setting there, and that's also beginning to set there as well. Fantastic. So I've turned the heat off on the jam, and you can see it's gone this beautiful dark deep colour. It's gone down about 2 inches now from the top. So this is ready to get canned and jarred up. So we'll just pop that. You just make sure you keep all your sticky bits in one place because it gets it has the potential to get quite messy. So we use the wide mouth jars for canning. Most of them are wide mouth jars, and for jam making because they are easier to pour things into. A funnel makes life an awful lot easier if you are making jam. And this is from a set that we got with some Kilner jars off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box below, and I fill it up to the bottom of the neck of the jar like that, and then I just move it along to the next one. There's room. There we go, make room. And then making sure I'm getting lots of fruit in as well, because we want all the fruit in. It doesn't matter if it starts to set on the funnel. And these have come out of the oven and they were at 120 degrees, so they were hot. And the jam is probably a lot hotter than that, but it's sticking and starting to set on everything, so I know the set is good on this. This recipe is really easy. I'll write the recipe out and put it in the description box below. It's literally fruit, sugar and a little bit of lemon juice. I've also put a smidge of cinnamon in as well. And go easy with it because it can get quite strong if you're a bit overzealous with it. Hi, so we've just finished doing all of that. We've added another whole jar here. They're still quite warm. Just about touch them now. So that's not a bad amount from 1.6 kilos of fruit and 1.6 kilos of sugar and a little between 1/8 and 1/4 cup of lemon juice. It really doesn't take much lemon juice at all. And absolutely delicious. We've got one for my mother-in-law, we'll take one over to our neighbour, and then we've got enough plum jam to last a year, so that's absolutely fantastic. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you like the content. If you have, please leave a comment in the description box below, in the comment box. Give us a like and subscribe. This is our first video and we hope there's going to be many, many more as we set up the homestead outside. Thank you. Bye.